Sometimes a man doesn't even realize he's falling in love until he's already knee-deep in it. He listens more closely, lingers a little longer, smiles for no reason when you walk into the room. But he won't say it. He might not even know it yet. You start to wonder, is it just in your head? Or is there something deeper happening beneath the surface of his silence? As a psychology expert who spent years decoding emotional behavior, I can tell you this. A man often shows he's in love long before he ever says it. And in this video, I'll take you deep into the hidden signs, the subtle, powerful ways a man's heart speaks, even when his mind hasn't caught up yet. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you might realize he's more in love with you than he even knows. Section 1. His attention breaks logic. Have you ever mentioned something small, like your favorite snack, a random memory from childhood, or the name of your coworker's dog, and then weeks later, he brings it up? You didn't expect him to remember. You may not have remembered it yourself, but he did. That's not just good memory. That's selective attention, one of the first unconscious signs of emotional attachment. You see, when we care about someone, our brain prioritizes their words, their feelings, their presence. Even if he doesn't realize how much he cares, his mind is already storing everything that connects him to you. In psychology, we call this emotional salience. When a person becomes so meaningful to us, our brain automatically filters them in while filtering the rest of the world out. So when he remembers the little things, the things you didn't think mattered, it's his subconscious way of saying, you matter more than I understand yet. Section 2. Emotional safety and vulnerability. Pay attention to the moments when he opens up, not just about his day, but about his fears, his childhood, his past, the things he doesn't usually share, not even with his closest friends. If he starts to let you see the parts of him that feel fragile or unfinished, that's not casual. That's emotional trust. You see, most men are raised, sometimes silently, sometimes forcefully, to guard their emotions. Vulnerability is often treated like weakness, but love rewrites that rule. When a man feels safe around you, safe enough to drop the mask and speak from his heart, he may not realize it yet, but psychologically, his defenses are already down. And that's where real connection begins. In therapy, we call this emotional attunement. It means he's no longer managing his image. He's letting you see him. And the truth is, when a man lets you in emotionally, he's already giving you access to a place most people never reach. Whether he says the word love or not, his trust has already made that decision for him. Section 3. Jealousy without ownership. You're talking to another man, maybe just a friend, and out of the corner of your eye, you notice it. His jaw clenches, his energy shifts. He doesn't say a word, but suddenly, something feels different. That right there is unspoken jealousy. It's not about control. It's not about possession. It's about emotional conflict. Because he doesn't feel entitled to you, yet something inside him aches at the idea of losing you. Psychologically, we call this cognitive dissonance. When a man feels something deeply, like protectiveness or attraction, but hasn't consciously accepted those feelings, it creates an internal tug-of-war. So instead of expressing it, he suppresses it. He acts unfazed, while his body language betrays everything. He may look away quickly, go quiet, change the subject, but his silence is loud. Because even if he can't admit it out loud, some part of him already feels connected to you. And in love, unspoken jealousy often reveals a truth the mind hasn't caught up with yet. He's already emotionally invested. He just doesn't know how to say it. Section 4. His time investment isn't casual. Time is the most honest form of affection because unlike words or gifts, time can't be faked. If he's constantly showing up, calling, checking in, spending time with you, even when life is chaotic, that's not just kindness. That's emotional prioritization. In psychology, we know this. People invest their time where their heart feels pulled. It's not always logical. In fact, it often goes against logic. He might rearrange his schedule, drive further than he needs to, stay longer than he planned. And if you ask him why, he might not have an answer. That's because his behavior knows something he hasn't admitted to himself yet. We call this a non-conscious attachment cue. It's when someone starts choosing you repeatedly without consciously realizing they're doing it out of love. So if he keeps showing up without expecting anything in return, if his time flows toward you even when he's busy, that's not coincidence. That's his heart quietly leading the way. Section 5. He mirrors you, emotionally and physically. Have you ever caught him copying the way you sit, or echoing a phrase you often say? Or maybe his mood shifts in sync with yours. When you're happy, he lights up. When you're down, he becomes quiet. These aren't random moments. They're psychological mirroring. It's something we do unconsciously when we feel deeply connected to someone. Our nervous system literally starts to sync with theirs. In neuroscience, it's linked to what we call mirror neurons, the brain's way of building empathy and bonding. But here's the part that matters. Mirroring isn't just physical, it's emotional alignment. It means he's not just observing you, he's feeling with you. So if he starts picking up your habits, finishing your sentences, reacting to your emotions without you having to say a word, he may not realize it yet, but he's already emotionally entangled with you. And that's not just attraction, that's intimacy in motion. A quiet, powerful sign that he's more in love with you than he even knows. Section 6. He looks at you like he's trying to figure something out. Just when everything feels closer, warmer, more connected, he suddenly pulls away. He's not angry. There's no fight. But something shifts. He becomes distant, confused, hard to reach. And you wonder, did I do something wrong? But what if I told you? This is one of the strongest signs he's falling for you. In psychology, we call this the approach avoidance conflict. When someone starts to feel emotionally vulnerable, but hasn't fully processed those feelings, it can trigger fear. Not fear of you, but fear of how deeply he's starting to care. Love exposes parts of us we thought we had buried. And for many men, that kind of vulnerability feels unfamiliar, even dangerous. So he pulls back, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares more than he understands. It's a defense mechanism, a pause for emotional breath, and often after the silence, after the distance, he returns with clearer eyes, with a heart that's finally caught up to what it's been feeling all along. The twist, why he may be holding back. Now you've seen the signs, the small gestures, the subtle cues. His actions say it all. He's drawn to you, connected to you in ways that go beyond the surface. But still, he hesitates. He holds back. You might wonder, why? Why hasn't he just admitted it? Here's the twist. He may not even realize just how deeply he's in love with you. And there's a reason for that. You see, love doesn't always follow a neat, tidy path. For many men, their emotions run deep, but so does their fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, fear of needing someone too much. It's not that he doesn't feel it, quite the opposite. He feels it so intensely, it scares him. Psychologically, this is often tied to past experiences, perhaps heartbreak, rejection, or even childhood wounds that make emotional closeness feel risky. So he keeps his distance, not because he doesn't care, but because part of him fears how much he does. It's the conflict between desire and defense, a battle between his heart wanting to leap and his mind telling him to protect himself. And in these moments, even if he's not saying the words, his heart is already in love with you. He just hasn't learned yet how to let himself embrace it completely. So the next time you catch him in a moment of hesitation, or you notice him pulling back just when everything feels right, remember this. His actions are louder than his words. He may not know it yet, but his heart is already ahead of him. Love is messy, complex, and often misunderstood. But the truth is, when a man is more in love with you than he realizes, every little sign, every look, every gesture is part of that journey. And now I want to hear from you. Have you noticed these signs with someone you're close to? Do you think he's more in love than he knows? Drop a comment below and let me know. Let's dive into this together. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the psychology of love. Thanks for watching, and remember, love isn't always spoken in words. Sometimes it's felt in the silence between them.